Hello there. It may be that the EU just blinked with a huge concession in the Brexit negotiations. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. As the EU Commission and UK Brexit trade negotiators gather in Brussels for round 7 of the negotiations, some reports indicate that Brussels may have just blinked. And this is related to the issue of state aid rules, which up until now the EU has been adamant that the UK must follow their rules and have them overseen by the ECJ. And that of course is a non-starter. Well, according to what we're told by the Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the UK Chief Negotiator David Frost. Now it seems that EU negotiators are asking for sight of UK plans with regard to state aid going forward. And if those plans look to be compatible with EU rules, then this might unlock the whole deal. One EU source told The Express that we need an understanding of what we consider the common rules. What we're trying to see is what the state aid system is going to be, and then the EU can establish how compatible it is with the type of partnership we're considering. The idea being that if EU-UK common rules for state aid can be established, then we can move forward. And further, any dispute resolution would not be under ECJ jurisdiction. But this would also represent quite a climb down for the European Union. Sounds a start, but I've got a couple of questions about this. Is this really a sign of a weakening EU position? I do hope so. Or is it a question of how much fish is this going to cost the UK? Because whatever anyone in government says, everything is on the table until the contract's signed. And the subject of fisheries is still taking up a huge chunk of time within these talks. So what are they talking about? How to screw the UK fishing community, again, without it becoming clear for a couple of years? And secondly, how can rules like this, written today, not impinge on our independent and sovereign decisions to look after our own industries in future? The Express article also talks about the possibility of setting the rules in such a way that renationalisation or nationalisation of industries would be nigh on impossible. That would sound great to the Tories, and to the EU too actually, as they wouldn't want to lose moneymakers like France's EDF running our energy sector, would they? But is attempting to tie the hands of future parliaments the correct thing to do? What if changes in technology and circumstances made the renationalisation of the water supply, for example, the most efficient and cheap thing to do in the UK, but we were stymied by these rules agreed with the EU? Or are we going to agree something in these common state aid rules that perhaps eases the position of the City of London financial services sector within the EU single market? An issue that came to the fore yesterday with EU threats of no equivalence for the city for months, something I talked about in a video yesterday. Now I read a recent Reuters report on the UK's future access into the single market for financial services, and it said, the City of London's unfettered access to its biggest customer, worth around £26 billion annually, ends on December the 31st, when Brexit transition arrangements expire. Sounds a very large figure, but London's GDP alone is about £500 billion, in normal times that is, and UK GDP is at around the 2 trillion mark, once again, in normal times. I'll let you do the maths on how important the EU trade portion of the city is overall to the UK economy. Anyway, anything we agree with the EU has the potential to tie us down and not only affect our future domestic politics, but also our dealings with other nations around the world. Now there is an old saying that you never know what goes on behind closed doors. and that saying applies firmly to the Brexit negotiations currently taking place. To think that the British government would not need to make concessions to the EU in order to get a deal that is acceptable to Brussels is about as likely as a free vote in North Korea. So I get the feeling nobody is playing who will really blink first. If we are to make a deal, it has almost certainly at this stage already been mostly done, or it might already have been agreed that it won't be done prior to the 31st of December. The talks could well be there to give the public confidence in the proceedings in a grand exhibition of diplomatic theatre, as well as to satisfy the legal requirements of the withdrawal agreement to be seen to be doing their best to make a deal. As I said, it's just a feeling that will never be proved one way or the other. But deal or no deal, both sides would need to be seen to leave the talks with face and honour intact, for both domestic and international spectators. After all, a deal is a compromise where both sides get something they want out of it for an acceptable cost, which is why the EU demands thus far have been unpalatable to the UK, as it would cost us dearly for almost nothing in return. In fact, it would have cost us dearly to give stuff away. So an agreement is either a deal or a surrender by one side. So any concessions the EU makes or is seen to make to give me cause for concern that our own negotiators may be giving something away too. And we've already given away a lot by being forced to put a border down the Irish Sea between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And we're due to keep paying the remaining 33 billion quid of this so-called Brexit divorce bill into the Brussels coffers over the next decades. Then there's the refusal by the EU to include Gibraltar in the Brexit deal, unless we come to some sort of joint sovereignty agreement with Spain. And until I see any final treaty, I believe that our fishing grounds are still under threat. And along with that, Argentina has been placing huge pressure on the European Union to try and get the Falklands into the mix too, by trying to get the Falklands removed from the post-Brexit deal. This is what happens when you hand your rights away. It's a salutary lesson in believing so much that other people have got your best interests at heart that you don't check the small print. In fact, I'm not even sure the big print was checked properly. You don't check the running costs or what assets of yours you have to share. You don't check the exit arrangements properly, and you don't ensure you know the exit fees. We've engaged in all that folly over the last 4 decades, so please let's not go and do it again by chasing a deal with the EU that we don't really need, just for the sake of having a deal. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the merchandise link in the descriptions box below. So what do you think about these talks? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.